Glad you guys joined for practice. Let's do this. So, many of you have heard me talk about my very favorite podcast, Untangle. Hang on, make sure things on the right thing. It's called Untangle, and it's put on by these two women who run a meditation studio and who have created this brain sensing headband called Muse. Anyway, I was just listening yesterday and then again today. I tend to listen to episodes that I really like twice because, you miss something the first time around and it really gets imprinted the second time around. And on this podcast, it was all about the science of breath. And I always learn something new and I always hear things over, and it just reinforces what I already know about breath, but expands my awareness into some new things. Like what I learned yesterday was that people who breathe out of their nose breathe more efficiently than people who breathe out of their mouth, which to me always sounded counterintuitive. But when you breathe out of your mouth, try it for a second, open your mouth and take a breath in. Notice what happens to your tongue, and then breathe out. So when you breathe in through your mouth, the tongue sort of sinks back, closing the airway just a little bit. And it's sort of a defense to make sure you're not going to take, a bug in, or I don't know, I'm sure there's some evolutionary perspective to it. But when you breathe in and out of your nose, your airway is a lot more clear. And so you actually get about 20% more oxygen when you breathe in and out of your nose than when you breathe out or in and out of your mouth. The nasal passages also has all the little, the little hairs, the little cilia, which help to clean bacteria. And you don't have that same filtration system in and out of your mouth. So it's just a lot purer of a breath when you breathe in and out of your nose. And there have been a lot of studies conducted about nasal breathers versus mouth breathers. And it is said overall, sort of overwhelmingly is the case in all the studies that have been done, that mouth breathers have, and we know this to be true, just in our own practices with our partners. If you have a partner whom you sleep with, mouth breathers are louder and they have more tendency to snore and therefore have more cases of sleep apnea. So sleep disruptions that cause stress in the body, which can lead to more levels of anxiety and stress, as well as higher blood pressure. And so the more you can condition yourself to be a nose breather, the overall benefits you're offering the better the benefits to your overall well-being. So anyway, I've always been a nose breather. My husband's a mouth breather. I'm trying to work on that, but I'm not a sleep physiologist. But there is some really good science out there about breathing that, if you're interested, have at it. Untangle podcast from yesterday, or from Tuesday rather, is there to just sort of open your eyes a little bit. Another thing that was reinforced was the idea of, we do these breath exercises where we inhale and hold our breath and then exhale slowly and maybe elongate the exhale. We're going to start out with a 4-7-8 breath just to remind you of a practice that's really helpful. And in a 4-7-8 breath, you inhale to the count of 4. And as you inhale, your heart rate speeds up. When you hold it and then exhale, your heart rate slows down. So anytime you inhale, your heart rate speeds up. Anytime you exhale, your heart rate goes down. And so there's studies about heart rate variability and how that can also contribute to overall well-being. So we're going to start out with a 4-7-8 breath, then we're going to hop right into our practice. Our practice today is all about stability, finding stability in our hips particularly, because our hips are incredibly vital. We need them to be strong and stable. So it supports our torso and enables us to, stand and walk without falling. So balance is very important. So we're going to work on that today during the physical practice. But starting out in a comfortable seated position, if you have something that you'd like to use to lift your hips, a little blanket, a block, a bolster, anything, you feel free to slide them underneath the hip bones, the sit bones, so that you can arrive with a nice dignified posture, lengthening through the crown of the head, rooting down through the tailbone. But be careful not to be stiff, because the moment we begin to stiffen our body becomes stressed in sympathetic mode, and our breath isn't allowed to be as fulfilling because it's shallow. So just make sure the body is soft and comfortable as you lift the posture, bringing the chin parallel to the earth. And this breath comes in and out of the nose. And just before I begin to meter that breath for you, just notice the natural breath floating in and out of your body today. Let's take a cleansing breath together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Seal the lips and begin to inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slow exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Push it all out. 2 and 1. Big complete inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slow release. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slow exhale. 1, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. 2 rounds on your own. And just invite the breath to come back to its natural pattern once again. Noticing how you're feeling. Know that 478 can be practiced anytime, anywhere. It's a really nice one, particularly in the evening if you tend to suffer from insomnia. It's a nice way to prepare the body to rest and to sleep. Think about the ratio. The inhaling to 4 is only 4 seconds of heart rate increase. Holding for 7 and exhaling to 8 is 15 seconds of heart rate decrease, that parasympathetic activation. And so over time, you're really offering some nice relaxation benefits, de-stressing benefits into the body. So I hope that you can practice that one as often as you are able to look at the benefits as they accumulate in your life. All right. We're going to roll over onto our backs to start. If you have a block or two, have them handy just in case. Come on down to your back. Once you arrive on your back, step your feet out about hip distance apart. And just let the knees start to knock from side to side. As we work on stability today, know that stability is not the ability to be still. Stability is about finding your way back to center, back to balance, back to comfort when you have been tossed off balance. And that's on the mat in our physical body and off the mat in our emotional and cognitive worlds. All right, we're going to come back and just plant the feet down on the mat like you're sort of preparing for a bridge pose. Knees are bent, feet flat, palms down. Just take a moment to find your grounding. Inviting the breath to come in and out, finding an even cadence in the breath. Making sure as you inhale, you are completely filling up. And as you exhale, you are completely letting go. All of the stale air in your lungs is released. So you can start new and fresh with each breath. Just take a moment to think about what inspired you to arrive on your mat today, setting an intention or a dedication for your practice. Take a big breath in. Let a full breath go. Start to draw knees in toward your chest, giving a little hug. You can separate the knees, opening and closing the hips. And then cross the right ankle over the left thigh, weaving your hands behind the left leg, drawing the knee closer to you, taking a nice stretch into the right hip. Relax your shoulders, soften the jaw. Keep pressing that right knee away from you as the left knee draws in. And if you flex the right foot, it'll help protect your ankle. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Let the bind go. Place the left foot down on the earth, still with the right leg crossed. And then let both knees drip or drop over to the right side. Reach the arms up overhead. Right hand takes the left wrist. And we're looking to crescent over to the right so we can open up that left side body. Big breath in. Full breath out. Open the arms up into a T, uncross the right ankle from the left knee, and just spring the left knee to stack over the right, taking a spinal twist. So the knees are to the right, the gaze floats to the left as you turn the upper body toward the left, stretching into the rib cage, stretching into the spine. Big breath in, full breath out. Beautiful. Release any binds, roll back to center, plant the feet down on the earth, palms down once again, and just gently lift the hips up, taking that bridge. So you're taking the pelvis and peeling it up toward the sky. And as you exhale, let the hips return back to the earth. Hug your knees in towards your chest and lift your head for a little hug. So that moves in one breath. Inhale, lift up, baby bridge. Exhale, hips to the earth, knees in for a little tuck and hug. Just articulating in the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck and hug. One more. Big breath in. And a full breath out. Nice. Bring your feet back down to the earth, this time crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. Lift the right foot if you want more sensation in that stretch, and weave the hands to bind behind the right hamstring. Drawing the right knee in as the left knee presses away. Maybe that left foot is flexed a little bit more. And then come back to the way the body is breathing. One more breath. Beautiful. Release your right foot down and both knees melt over to the left. Inhale the arms up, left wrist to or left hand to right wrist. Open up through the right side body. One more breath here in this lateral stretch. And then uncross the left ankle, slide the right knee to stack over the left, open the arms to a T, gaze over the right shoulder for your spinal twist. Beautiful. Come on back to center. Hug your knees into your chest once again. Draw your head up toward the knees and then slowly start to roll up to a seated position. And from seated, go ahead and cross your ankles, coming into a table position. And once you're in table, exploring some movement laterally, move forwards and backwards. Maybe just take some cow and cats or some hip circles here. When we work the stability or the hip stabilizing muscles, we're working on external hip muscles and internal, mostly external and in the glutes. So your glute medius, glute minimus. So extend your right leg behind you, just floating that leg off the earth. Make sure the weight is even between the two palms and draw the navel up. So you start to feel your center here. And just little tiny pulses with the right leg. So feel the muscles hugging to the bone. Feel the heel just bopping up and down. Just notice the muscles that are really contracted up by the hips here. It's like a good old fashioned Suzanne Summers thigh master kind of 80s move here. Take one more big breath. And then draw the right knee forward, step it between the hands, and we're going to rise up into a low lunge. Maybe the palms stack over your thighs. Just some gentle pressure to sink a little bit deeper, opening up that left hip flexor. Big breath in, sink a little deeper, and then begin to shift back. I like to use my blocks here doing these half splits. It enables me to keep elongation in the spine so the breath has room, but you can always come down to the earth as well. But hands, if you're using the blocks, have them frame the right leg. Keep the right foot flexed as you draw the nose toward the knee. Chest to thigh. One more big breath. Beautiful. We're going to come back into that lunge so that we can send that right leg back and then draw the knee together. Coming back into your table where once again, explore some movement. Just stir the hips up a little bit. And then returning back to center, extend your left leg behind you. And before you start to pulse it, just find your center. Find the even rooting. And then flex that foot actively and start to take little pulses. And you can keep lifting the leg until you really feel the glute muscles engage here. If you feel like you're shifted onto the right palm or leaning into that right hip, come back to center. Nice. Take one more breath. And then step the left foot between the thumbs. Rise up to your low lunge. Arms can stay lifted. You can even support your head here, giving a little traction to the neck, or have the palms stack over your thigh. Every breath creates a little bit more space through the hips here. One more breath. And then shift those hips back, coming into your half split. Looking to draw the chest forward. Looking for your deep breath to reach any tightness in that right and that left leg. Nice. And then shift forward. This time we're going to just step the right foot to meet the left. Come into a forward fold. Just hang a little bit heavy here. Tilt the pelvis so the sit bones reach up toward the sky. Letting go of tightness and tension that may have been present in your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. And then slowly rise up, 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 up. Reach up. Give a big stretch. And exhale. Float the hands back to the earth. Inhale. Halfway lift. And exhale. Hands back to the earth. Step one, then the other. Finding your strong plank pose. Spreading those fingers nice and wide, offering a base. Spreading the toes. Feeling your center once again. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more big breath. And then lower all the way down. You can lower the knees first if you like. Bend the elbows. Reach your left arm up so that you're reaching beyond the top part of the mat. And we're going to roll over onto our left side. So we're using that left arm as a pillow here. Bend your left knee just a little bit for a stable base. Flex that right foot. And again, some little pulses. Little pulses. So now we're working the outer hip here. Little pulses. Really squeeze the muscles to the bones. Really hug and squeeze. And if you want, you can lift it and hold it. Keep it static until you really feel the burn. Or you can simply pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Extend the left leg so they're stacked. Roll back onto your belly. Hands right at the ribs. Curl the toes. Press back up into your plank pose. Starting to ignite that core energy. Remember that our body is not built, nothing is in isolation. Everything works to help everything else. So we want strength in the core, which helps with the hips, and the hips help with the core. So keep pressing back into the heels. Keep reaching the crown of the head forward. 2 more breaths. Press the earth away. Draw your bottom ribs up toward the back rib, or front ribs to the back ribs. And then lower all the way down. Nice. Reach your right arm up, up, up. Flatten the palm and roll over to your right side, bringing your head to the bicep as a pillow. Bend the right knee for stability. Flex the left foot and pulse. Just little pulses. Again, if you want, you can lift it, find your edge, and stay there and hold it and feel that hip stabilizer fire up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stack the legs, roll back onto your belly, hands at the hips, back to plank pose. Maybe you make some noise, y'all. Beautiful. From your plank pose, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. Let it all go. Beautiful. On the inhale, lift the right heel to the sky. So again, those hips just lift it straight up. No rotation, just strengthening. Big breath in. And then step the right foot between the hands. Left foot joins forward fold. Rise up. Hinge at the hips, melt back down. Halfway lift, strong back. Plant your hands, left foot back, coming back to your low lunge. Right foot joins high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, find an opening of the heart. So maybe keep it gentle, since this is the first one of the practice, or start to extend the arms for your cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe and release. Inhale, left heel to the sky, holding it there. Feel the hips. Feel the grounding. One more breath. Step the left foot between the hands. Right foot joins forward fold. Rise up. Exhale, melt back down. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, right foot back. Left foot joins. High plank. Lower to low plank or chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. Returning to downward facing dog. Beautiful. I love the way you're melting your shoulders away from the ears when you scoop the heart up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Three-legged dog, right heel high. 5 little pulses. Really feel that engagement in the glutes. And then step the right foot between, left foot joins, forward fold. Rise all the way up. Adding chair pose here, sink the hips into a chair, and then dig into the heels as you come back up. Exhale, chair pose. Dig into the heels, come back up. 2 more. Chair pose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, chair pose. Beautiful. Swan dive down, greet the earth. Halfway lift. Step the left foot back, same side, low lunge. Right foot joins, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, scoop the heart up. Feel it shine. Back to downward facing dog. Nice. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, left heel high. 3-legged dog, feeling the glutes activate right here. 5 pulses. And then step the left foot between the hands. Right foot comes to meet it. Forward fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, chair. Sink those hips really low and back. Inhale, press up. Exhale, sink. 2 more, keeping the back nice and flat and long. Following the natural curve of the spine, nothing extra. Rise up. Nice, sink back down. 1 more. And fold. Halfway lift, long spine. Plant your hand, right foot back, low lunge. Left foot joins high plank. Take a flow. Following your breath. Downward facing dog is where we will meet. Breathe in and breathe out. Look to the front of the mat, hop or step, feet to hands. Rise all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. All right, so really take those thumbs into the hip creases and draw them back and down. Back and down. Back and down. So your feet are flat, but you're really rocking the weight into your heels. Stay right here, and then see if you can consciously shift the weight into your left foot and extend your right leg out to the side. And then bring it back. And then extend your left leg out to the side. Bring it back. Right leg out to the side. Bring it back. Left leg out to the side. Come back into center. Rise all the way up and take a fold. Stay here for a moment where you can notice how your breath may have changed. Come back to regulating the breath. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart as you float back down. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, left foot steps back, low lunge. Once again, if you have the blocks, maybe you bring them to frame the right foot, because we're going to come into a standing split. So shift into the right foot, lift the left leg to the sky. Now it's driven by the heel, the flexion of the foot, the activation of your glute muscles here. So feel that leg rising. You're folding your body in half here. You're really activating those hip stabilizers. Take another breath. We're going to slowly start to come to standing, drawing the left knee up into our chest. And then cross the left ankle over the right thigh, just as we did on our backs. Whoops, hang on. Something under my foot there. Okay. Woo. Right? Stability is not being still. It's being off kilter and totally out of balance. And then finding our way back to center. So here we are. So externally rotating into that left hip. Crossing left thigh over right, hands to the heart, and just try to sink your hips back down into your chair. Breathe in. Sink a little lower. One more breath. Beautiful. Draw that left knee back up, straightening the right leg, and send it straight back, coming into your warrior three pose. Once you're in your warrior three, 5 little pulses with that left heel. Foot is flexed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then hands back to the earth. Left foot comes to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, float down. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, the right foot steps back, coming into a low lunge. The hands are going to come to frame the left foot, finding standing split. So shift into the left foot, right heel rises. Our hips are square. We're not offering any rotation today in the hips. Just squaring the hips, lifting with that flexed foot. Feel the hamstring going right up to the sky. Feel the activation right in your glute, right there. Take another breath. And then slowly press into that left foot, rising, bringing your right knee up towards your chest. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Maybe the hands come to the heart, sinking back into your chair. Hips low and back. Notice your breathing. One more breath. Beautiful. Start to unwind. Send the right heel straight back for your warrior three. Looking for a long line of energy. Heel, cross the leg, hip, back, out through the crown of the head, and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands back to the earth. Right foot steps to meet left. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands. Take a flow. Maybe you're hopping back. Maybe you want to do some kick-ups. Maybe you're double dipping your chaturangas today. Make sure you feel the breath completely nourishing the body. You guys look great. Yeah, keep lifting the tailbone high to the sky, inviting your chest back toward your thighs. Big breath in. Full breath out. On the next breath, look to the front of the mat, step or hop, arriving, rise up. Bring hands to heart for just a moment. Your mountain pose. I'm smiling because I'm looking down on the garden and there are lots of red tomatoes that are begging to be picked today. So I'm very excited. Hopefully you're looking around and seeing something that's bringing you joy today, because you're going to need that energy of joy to help get you through this next challenge, which is something we've done before. It's going to be a flow where we stay on the same side for quite a while to really activate and exhaust the hip stabilizing muscles. So the way it will work is I'll cue you into chair pose. As you inhale, exhale, you'll sink your hips. Inhale, you'll lift the right knee up. Exhale, you'll press it back into a warrior three. You'll inhale back up to stork and exhale back to chair. And same side, we'll launch off of the planted foot, really dig into the heel because that activates those glute muscles that we're looking for. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, right foot presses back, warrior three. Inhale back to stork. Exhale, chair pose. Feel free to have the feet a little wider since we're moving through our chair. That will help you feel more stable. Exhale. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Exhaling deep into your chair. Always inhaling to stork. Exhale, right foot back. We're still on the same side. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, stork. We're going to do 5 more on this side. We're going to really exhaust it, so stay with. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. That's 1. Let's go for 2. Go at the pace of your breath. You got this. Let's go for 3. If you notice losing balance or losing the safe alignment, then take it slower and do fewer. Yes. All right, 1 more. That left hip is speaking to you. That's what we want. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And chair pose. Nice. Come on up. Shake out that left leg. Maybe give yourself some love taps, some booty taps. Maybe a little woo. Shake your booty. This is one of those practices that on Sunday when you're really feeling it, just remember how much I love you. And remember how much you love you too. Because that's a gift. Okay. Let's try the other side. Are you ready? So we'll do a few demos and then I'll start to count. Let's take a big breath in. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, left knee up, right foot grounds. Exhale, back to warrior three. Feel free to do whatever you want to with your arms. Inhale, up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, warrior three. Nice and control, fully aware. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, chair. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, press it back. Keep that foot flexed. Inhale to stork. Exhale, chair. Now I'll start counting. 5 more. Stay with a rhythm. No rush, because we don't want to hyperventilate. We want to breathe freely here. 4 more. Find the meditation here and the repetition. Really sink low in your chair. Make it burn. 3 more. You guys are awesome. Think happy thoughts, blessings of the body. 2 more. Yes, you got it. It's fun seeing all the movement. 1 more. And chair pose is where we will be. Let's hold our chair for 10, 9, hip creases back, breathe. 7, 6, elongate the spine. 4, 3, 2, and fold. You guys are fantastic. Just notice how the body is feeling. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Breathe into it. 1 more breath. One more breath. There's always 1 more breath. All right, come all the way up. So this is a kind of another fun one. You can do it with or without a block. The block adds a little extra layer of challenge. So if you have a block, bring it onto your mat and go ahead and step your left foot on it. Notice when you do that, your hips become a little uneven. So go ahead and step all the way on it, lifting up, and then lift your right foot so that your feet are even and you're not leaning to the left, just standing. So just notice how you had to like adjust your hips there. So you're aware of that. And if you don't have a block, just do it standing. Flex your right foot and little pulses out to the side. Keep your gaze steady on something that's not moving. You ideally want to do this to exhaustion, but we'll just do it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet back so that they are parallel. And then you're going to send it back. 5. Well, actually, we'll do 10 because I always have you go, and then I start counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to bring that right knee up to our chest and find a tree pose. So if you're on the block, great way to test your stability because your hip your hip stabilizers, your abductors, your glute medius and glute minimus really have to fire up to keep you stable here. So right foot on left leg pressing back into foot. Maybe start to lift those arms. Grow a little taller in your spine. Yes, 1 more big breath. And then step off. Shake anything that needs to be shaken. Tap anything that needs to be tapped. Yes, and then we'll do it on the other side. All right. So this time, bringing your right foot to the block if you have it, or just staying steady. Notice the shifting of the hips. Boop, 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 boop. And step into the right foot and lift your left leg so your left hip bone is even with your right. Nice tall posture. Hands anywhere that helps you balance. Flex into that left foot and pulse. Feel free to use a chair rail or handrail that helps you be stable. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back into center. Now we're going to go back with the heel. So just experience going back without thrusting the chest forward. So your shoulders still over ribs, ribs over hips. Just sending that heel back. Notice where you feel it most. You might feel it most in your standing leg right here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring that left knee up to your chest. Find external rotation so we can take our tree anywhere but the knee, above or below the knee. Maybe the arms rise. Firing up those stability muscles if you are standing on the soft block. The breath is traveling from the earth up to the crown and back down again. It finds its way through your whole body. Nice. Take one more breath. And come off the block. Let it go. Move the blocks out of the way. Once again, shaking, dancing, tapping, whatever you need, wherever you need it. We'll come back to the top of the mat. Big breath in. And dive down. Halfway lift. Take a flow any way you'd like. Back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Look to the front of the mat. We're going to step or hop your feet through your hands. We're going to try to land in a seated position. So you may be laughing right now. I always do. I've never quite mastered this, but I like to just have fun and pretend I did it. So come on down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Hands around the ankles and just flap a little bit. Notice if you are feeling a little tightness in the hips. Or just a little like, ooh, you've been giving us too much attention today. We're not done yet. All right, from here, we're going to come back onto our back onto our bridge pose. So your feet are hip distance apart. You can always, well, you can't put a block. I mean, you can put a block between your thighs, but for what we're going to do, it'll fall out. So if you want to just work on your bridge formation, then use the block as a reminder for that internal squeeze. And otherwise, feet are hip distance apart, heels close enough so you can touch them. And when you're ready, start to drive the feet into the earth, peel the pelvis up toward the sky. And notice what happens when you shift the weight into the left foot and lift the right leg up to the sky. Your leg can be bent or straight, whatever's comfortable. Okay. If the right hip is dipping, really consciously fire up those hip stabilizers in the left side to lift the right hip. The left side does the job for the right side. And then let's pulse. 5 more. Make sure you're breathing. And then stay lifted, keep the hips high, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Once again, coming into that figure 4 shape. Keep lifting the hips. Hips are stable right across the pelvic rim. And pulse again. 5 more pulses. Hold it at the top for 5. Keep breathing. 4. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let it all go. Feet wider than the mat. Let the knees move from side to side. And then we'll come back and do it on the other side. So replant your feet with their safe alignment. When you're ready, lift the hips up. Resting on your feet and your shoulders. And then feel the right foot and leg just engage just a little bit more so you can lift the left leg up to the sky or keep the knee bent, whichever is more comfortable for you. And pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the hips lifted, cross left over right. Figure 4. Try not to let that left hip dip. Really fire up. We can take those We can do little dips if you want, little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it at the top. Squeeze everything, but make sure you're breathing. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it on down. Nice work. Feet wider than the mat. Knees knock from side to side. Nice work. Bring those knees in toward your chest. Wrapping hands around shins. Roll around in the back a little bit. Cross your ankles and come back up to a seated position. And maybe your Sukhasana feels a little bit more filled with Sukha right now, more ease, since we did work a lot into those hips, not so much the rotation of the hips, but just targeting the stabilizers of the hips. But that naturally brings a little bit of stretch to the hips, so maybe that feels a little bit more at ease. Or maybe you even want to alternate the cross of the leg and do what didn't feel instinctual. Right? And I'm just going to guide you through a few more rounds of 4, 7, 8 so that you can notice how the breath feels now after having taken the body through a physical practice as a way to relax our nervous system and prepare for Shavasana. So take a big breath in, let a breath go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Letting it all go. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, release. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. On your own. Take one more full round. And then let your 4, 7, 8 breath go. Inviting the breath back to its natural patterns. You are now prepared for Shavasana, and if you'd like to lay down, you can. If you'd like to stay seated, you are welcome to do so as we continue to remember that the physical asana practice of yoga is there to, and the breath practices are there to prepare our body for seated meditation. So if you're working on your seated practice, looking to build a little stamina in the body, maybe stay just as you are as you guide yourself into this final space. Nowhere to go, nothing else to do, just enjoying all of the blessings and the joys of being. Just as splinters can get embedded in our body, old emotions and beliefs can act like toxins and become embedded in us too. We may have picked up residue along the way, beliefs we didn't consciously choose, feelings we weren't safe enough to feel, toxins from the world around us. Now is a time of cleansing. Now is the time to heal your body, your emotions, your mind, and your soul. Once you've identified what you're feeling and thinking, release it. Let the energy go. Let it leave your body. You can chatter all you want about what's going on with you, but that doesn't release the energy from your system any more than talking about a splinter takes it out. Sometimes the process will sting just a bit when you pull out the splinter. But don't worry, it won't hurt for long, and soon you'll feel better than you've felt in a long while. Often the process of releasing old toxins can be as gentle and natural as the way a flower or tree grows with sunshine and rain, a bit of fertile soil, a little pruning and weeding. Growth can be gentle now. Breathe in new air. Breathe in new energy. Exhale the past, its feelings, beliefs, and toxins. Let it go. Let yourself be transformed. Melody Beatty from Journey to the Heart. As you take the next breath in through the nose, just think about the way that your body is naturally filtering out toxins. And as you exhale, consciously release any emotional toxins that you've been holding. Honor each breath that comes in as life force, sustenance, and each breath that goes out as freedom. Start to invite in with the breath some movement into the body. And if you are not already in a seated position, take your sweet time rolling over and then eventually meeting us in a seat. Once you arrive, honor yourself by pressing the palms together in front of the heart, giving yourself thanks for arriving into your practice today, arriving into your body, into your mind, and into your breath. Thank you so much for practicing with our wonderful community today. The love, the light, and the breath in me honors the love, the light, and the breath in each of you. Namaste. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have some time on your hands today and you too are looking for a podcast to sort of wake you up to the benefits or just, reinforce the benefits of the breath, particularly nasal breathing, check out Untangle. And the podcast was from Tuesday. So thank you all very much. My name is Erin. I don't think